mobile banking and mobile commerce, and I think you do need to separate them, are going through an evolutionary process. So if you think back to the advent of e-commerce and the internet, you saw in the mid to late 90s a lot of momentum, but the infrastructure wasn't necessarily there. And subsequently, though, once that was built in, you saw an acceleration of e-commerce. I think with mobile commerce and mobile banking, the mobile banking portion of that, basically a consumer using an application on their mobile device to check balances, transfer between accounts. You see a lot of that now, and as more and more consumers get smart devices, smartphones, et cetera, you'll see continued adoption of that. With mobile payments, which I include under that umbrella of mobile commerce, that's a little bit more of a trial and learn process right now. So you have a lot of different capabilities there, proximity payments, P2P payments, of which many institutions are trying out right now, but they're not necessarily sure what the roadmap is. So I would kind of make that distinction. In one area, you're seeing kind of that constant curve of adoption, and the other, it's still kind of evolving. I think it's absolutely critical that any institution that is deploying mobile applications make sure that they're simple and intuitive. So those are traditional things anytime you launch a product or service or technology. If it's not easily adaptable for the consumer, you're just not going to see it. So I think companies should focus on simplicity and intuition, and then at the same time, in parallel, keep their eyes and ears to what's going on in the industry and determine what sort of innovation they might be able to trial, something like text banking or remote deposit capture. There's some innovation out there that's going on, and so they need to be involved in that as well. Well, Verizon is playing in the mobile space in a lot of different ways. People think of traditionally Verizon as Verizon devices, phones, network, that sort of thing, and we do that great. And so certainly when you think of a company like ours, you can think of going and getting the latest device which enables that mobile experience. We have launched a mobile app store for distribution, so companies can put their applications through that network. We have an open platform for developers, so they can also develop through our infrastructure. And then we're also a systems integrator and provider of applications themselves. So if you, as a company, want to develop an application, we can certainly do that on your behalf. So there's a lot of different ways an organization like ours can be working with financial institutions. And of course, we have relationships with the end customers as well. Well, I would say any institution has to start with a strategy. There was a rush out to have a mobile channel capability for a lot of institutions. So you saw them use a browser-based solution. And now I think they're going back and saying, okay, maybe the downloadable app, which has a richer functionality and so forth, might make more sense across different types of platforms. And so institutions need to have a comprehensive mobile strategy, which they may not have had time to do in the past in order to get to market quickly. So I think that's the top priority. So you have a roadmap and you have an idea of what technology and architecture you want to use over what platform and what devices. And so that's kind of the approach I would take. I think the reason many companies haven't been able to adapt mobile yet is really the inverse of what I just talked about. They may not have a strategy. They may not have the internal resources, either from a capacity standpoint or from a competency standpoint, to necessarily design, deploy, and market that channel. And so it's a learning curve. And so, that's certainly one of the obstacles. And the other obstacle is really communicating out to the marketplace what the mobile channel, what those capabilities are for an end consumer, and how that might be evolving. And so it's a bit of a new channel for all of us, both consumers and institutions. And I think once that bridge is gapped in terms of understanding and confidence in security and those types of things, that you'll see greater adoption and greater internal expertise within a lot of these organizations.